Raheem, I got to tell you, the tide is starting to turn here, and it's based upon information. It's based upon getting real information out there. The Chinese Communist Party is running a general scam throughout the entire world. They're full information warfare, full economic warfare. And where information and economic warfare converge is in telecommunications and technology and in social media. And we're seeing whether it's TikTok, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Huawei, that people are starting to take notice. And as soon as you go and look at the facts, it's obvious that the Chinese Communist Party's technology arm, the PLA's technology arm, has got to be taken out root and branch out of the West, out of free people. And we've had a big victory overnight. Remember, part of this was driven, we've been on this for months and months and months, but this has been a big fight really for the last couple of years. Over the weekend, I gave an interview to the Mail on Sunday, which is the big newspaper of the Daily Mail. That's their Sunday edition, and said, hey, this is just not about Huawei. You got to rip. Just not about Huawei and 5G now, which is a huge controversy about whether it's going to be taken out by the Boris Johnson government. This is about British Telecom. You're embedded into the system. And the CEO said yesterday on BBC it would take 10 years to get out. We got a lot of the same problem here in the United States, and we're trying to address it day by day. The President of the United States has signed a number of executive orders to start limiting Chinese telecom manufacturers and network providers to have access to the U.S. system. But yesterday was huge. Mike Pompeo declared that the CCP has claimed territorial ownership of the South China Sea. He said, hey, that's not happening. We don't agree with any of that. You've got O'Brien and Pottinger over in Europe talking to NATO right now. I think what you're going to see coming out of NATO is that Italy, France, the United Kingdom, Germany, NATO is now going to expand and actually start patrolling the South China Sea. And then, Raheem, a huge announcement yesterday in the Times of London about the defense minister. They're building a new aircraft carrier, the HMS, Her Majesty's ship, the Queen Elizabeth, that will be home ported in the Far East, probably in Singapore, but to patrol the Straits of Malacca and the South China Sea. People are starting to wake up about exactly what's going on here in this global conflict. Raheem, I want to turn it back to you. You guys have done such a fantastic job of exposing this in the United Kingdom. This announcement about Huawei, huge victory for President Trump, huge victory for freedom, huge victory for the people of the United Kingdom. And for our audience out there, huge victory for you. Remember, we're winning. Victory begets victory. And when information gets out there, the Chinese Communist Party can't hide behind their shills in the West anymore. Their business partners are going to be exposed, time after time, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. So just a tremendous victory, Raheem. And why don't you give me some more details about what went on?
Yeah, that's right, Steve. And in fact, I think we can probably take you to the clip coming out of Parliament from this morning about the latest decision concerning Huawei and its involvement in the UK's 5G infrastructure. Let's roll this clip.
The new US measures restrict Huawei's ability to produce important products using US technology or software. The National Cybersecurity Centre has reviewed the consequences of the US's actions. The NCSC has now reported to ministers that they have significantly changed their security assessment of Huawei's presence in the UK's 5G network. Given the uncertainty that this creates around Huawei's supply chain, the UK can no longer be confident it will be able to guarantee the security of future Huawei 5G equipment affected by the change in US foreign direct product rules. To manage this risk, they have now issued new advice on the use of Huawei in UK telecoms networks. So this morning, the Prime Minister chaired a meeting of the National Security Council. Attendees at that meeting took full account of the National Cybersecurity Centre's advice, together with the implications for UK industry and wider geostrategic considerations. The government agrees with the National Cybersecurity Centre's advice. The best way to secure our networks is for operators to stop using new affected Huawei equipment to build the UK's future 5G networks. So to be clear, from the end of this year, telecoms operators must not buy any 5G equipment from Huawei. And once the Telecom Security Bill is passed, it will be illegal for them to do so.
It's absolutely huge news, Steve.
So here's the thing, particularly for the hedge fund guys, remember, for you deplorables, some of the most sophisticated people in the world watching the show, we're going after all these companies. Be advised, if you got the stocks, you should start dumping them. We're going after every one of these front companies for the PLA, the Chinese Communist Party. This is a 180-degree turn. Everybody in the audience has to understand the future of advanced technology is based upon quantum computing. That's what Huawei and the PLA had taken. This was part of the grand Chinese strategy, One Belt, One Road for the logistics system, made in China 2025 for advanced fourth industrial revolution manufacturing to make them the center of that, and Huawei, a global network of quantum computing that's the future backbone of technology. This is 180 degrees. The British establishment, totally on the payroll of the Chinese Communist Party, and Huawei had supported this 180 degrees. That's why for everybody in the audience, this is so central to how your life and how your children's lives are going to develop, because this is the technological future. This is the fourth industrial revolution, and guess what? It's going to be driven by Western technology. Remember, the most important geopolitical event before the pandemic happened in the spring of 2019 that we talk about. The Chinese Communist Party made a decision to decouple from the West technologically, right? So Baidu, Tencent, Huawei, Zoom, TikTok would have their own, after stealing it from the West, they would come to have their own standards and be decoupled from the West. That shows you that we're going to go to their entire system. Today is a smash mouth victory. And I got to tell you, Raheem, I'm so proud of the people in the United Kingdom that stood up and fought this, because this was a long shot. And it's huge. It's going to have dramatic implications in the United States. It's going to have dramatic implications throughout the world. It's going to have dramatic implications for the lives of our listening audience. But this is the announcements over the last 48 hours. People are awoke to what's going on here with the Chinese Communist Party.